All right, today we are diving deep and deconstructing the raw, emotional heart of Caskets.mp3. This is one of those pieces of lyrical art that's just haunting. We're going to explore how grief can literally fracture a soul and how that can lead to isolation, numbness, and some serious paranoia. Let's dive in. Right from the jump, a wall is thrown up in just 7 words. Please don't talk to me about love. Now, make no mistake, that isn't a suggestion, it's a command. It immediately sets this confrontational, deeply wounded tone. It tells you that love isn't just off the table, it's become a source of unbearable pain.
So, what could possibly push someone to build a wall that high against something so fundamental to being human? Well, the lyrics immediately drop us right into the speaker's world, and it is a landscape of profound, crushing disillusionment.
And here it is, the core conflict laid bare. On one side, you have this universal hope, right? The search for love and connection that drives so many of us. But on the other side is this brutal reality. The city isn't just a little lonely. He says it's a ghost town, totally empty of the very thing he came looking for.
So, faced with that kind of disappointment, what do? You build a defense mechanism. And this right here, this isn't just casual dating. No, this is a full-blown survival strategy. To avoid the pain of that ghost town, he creates a world of transactional, emotionless meetups. And that phrase, "don't take it personal," becomes the golden rule, designed to protect everyone, but especially himself, from the danger of catching real feelings.
When the world outside offers you nothing but disappointment, where do you turn? Well, you turn inward. This disillusionment with the external world, it just naturally leads to an internal retreat. The only escape seems to be to shut down everything on the inside.
And listen to how the language here becomes so clinical, almost like a procedure. This isn't about having fun or chasing a high. This is a grim, step-by-step mission with one devastating goal: complete emotional annihilation. From a psychological standpoint, this is a classic trauma response, trying to basically dissociate from a pain that's just too much to bear. The repetition of nothing and numb just hammers that desperate focus home.
So let's be absolutely clear about this crucial distinction. He is not trying to feel good. He is trying to feel nothing at all. He isn't chasing pleasure. He is running from pain. The real objective here is to hit absolute zero, an emotional void where the ghosts of his past can't find him anymore.
But here's the thing, you can't stay in that void forever. It's impossible, because even in the depths of this self-inflicted numbness, a war is raging. And this brings us to the absolute central conflict of the entire piece, the war between his duty and his impulse for self-destruction. And the forces pulling him apart are just immense. On one side, you have this profound, undeniable weight of responsibility. I have to be a father. I have to raise a son. This is a sacred duty. But pulling him in the complete opposite direction is his own conscience, which has been so twisted by pain that it's pushing him to become a monster. And that right there, that is the cost of this internal war. It's a full-blown existential crisis. This fight between the father and the monster is so intense, so all-consuming, that the very essence of who he is, his soul, feels like it's literally being ripped apart.
You know, when you're at war with yourself, the whole world starts to look like a battlefield. That internal conflict is just amplified and reflected by this terrifying world around him. The world is no longer just a lonely ghost town. Now it's become actively hostile and incredibly dangerous.
And this just brings up such a fundamental human question, one we all face when things get chaotic. When your own inner world is spinning out of control, how can you possibly navigate an outside world that seems just as treacherous? I mean, who can you really trust?
His answer is chilling, because in his world, there is no trust. Zero. Not anymore. Even a smile, the most basic sign of human warmth, is now seen as a mask for a deadly threat. This has gone way beyond caution. This is a deep, deep paranoia, born from a brutal reality.
This paranoia is just fueled by a world of these impossible contradictions. He mentions this idea that he was raised by nuns, an image of purity and innocence. But that image is completely shattered by the reality of sitting in a pew at the Skicks, which is slang for guns. You get this jarring picture of a supposed sanctuary that's filled with violence. When piety and weaponry are sharing the same space, the lines get so blurry it becomes impossible to know what's real and what's a threat.
Okay, so we've mapped all the symptoms, the loneliness, the numbness, the paranoia. But those are all reactions, right? They're aftershocks.
So what was the original earthquake? To understand that, we have to go to the final, quietest layer of the song, to the very source of all this pain.
And after all the noise, the city, the drugs, the paranoia, everything finally just goes quiet. And in that silence, we find the core of it all. And it's not an event, it's not an action, it's a memory. The simple, haunting echo of a voice that just isn't there anymore.
That memory is what fuels the true heart of this piece. It's just a cry of pure, unfiltered longing, a desperate wish to turn back time, not for some big, grand event, but just for the simple, profound comfort of hearing that specific voice say something just one more time.
And then, the final, devastating reveal. The line that recasts everything we've heard. The search for love, the need for numbness, that internal war, the paranoia, they're all aftershocks of an unbearable foundational grief. The loss of a son, a loss so profound it feels like a cosmic betrayal, like the angels themselves just let it happen. This is the ghost that haunts the ghost town.
Ultimately, what these lyrics build is this stunningly honest portrait of a soul completely fractured by loss. It's a roadmap of how grief, when it's left untended, can curdle into isolation.